The Two Business Guys Mastermind on how to look into the future and create business. Enjoy. This business podcast, The Two Business Guys Mastermind, uncovers for you secrets and share tips and tricks to entrepreneurship as they mastermind on how to have startup, operational, and overall business success so that you can go on to get better results. Enjoy. Hey, Rob, I wonder, man, what would happen if we could take a glimpse into the future? What kind of business would we create? What could we, if entrepreneurs had insight, right? Because it seems right now, Rob, that we just kind of like guess. Hey, I think I got an idea for this business, and I think it'll work. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to apply all these different things, and I tell you, I'm thinking about taking a whole different way. And if you guys have been following along with us, Rob and I like to talk about all things business, right? Especially in the really, really early stage startups. These are the things that people out there are just like trying get their things going, and all kind of stuff can derail them. So at that very, very, very early startup stage, this is important. So a glimpse into the future. I got this app, man. Man, it's called Glimpse. I want to show it to you real quick.
All
right. So it is, and that's his job. They go out and they and looking into all areas of variety of things, and they use Twitter, they use just to kind of see what people are talking about. They use Reddit, they use all these different things, right? So then it's like I started clicking on it and asking just a basic question of what would happen if right, what would happen if you could go into some of these areas and just snoop around a little bit. All right, so all right, let's go. And I just tooled around here. It's an app, man, that's, oh my gosh. And then what I did was, okay, I just loaded it up, so if it don't start up for me, it's no big deal. I went to my key search tool, right? So I says, okay, I'm gonna go to Meet Glimpse. This is what it's called. It's called Glimpse, but you meet Glimpse and you go into all these different new ideas, investing. It is brand new, so I'm kind of, it's taking me through a thing, and I don't have time for that. So I go to one of my key search tools, and I got a way to kind of look into any website right now and kind of see what is ranking high for them. Right? Look at this. So now that shortens the cycle. Right? So you get a glimpse in this particular case, but there's some other ones. There's trends.co. There's a whole lot of different things, but I just grabbed the website URL, put it in my competitive analysis part of my other key search tool, right? And a keyword tool. And then it tells me this. Look at this. Traffic.
Yeah.
Right? 22,000 times a month somebody's searching for most searched person on Google today. Right? And then I can do some filters here. So let's say I want volume at let me see if I want volume at 1,000, right? So no less than 1,000, and I want traffic at no less than 1,000. So that way I know I got good traffic, stuff that you can make stuff out of. So I'm gonna hit the filter, and then it's just gonna give me the okay. So what page, right? So these are searched out. WinBet. I don't know what that is. I think it has something to do with the betting space. Right? Look at all this stuff. I'm like, Nike Dunks Low. What is that? What is this trend here? And you see what it's doing here. So let's go. That is amazing to me, that if you could do that, get that, and you can, right?
Yeah.
And start business from that standpoint.
This is the whole idea of market research. And this is one of the things, we talk to entrepreneurs so often about, like, getting out of your own headspace, right? So often we think about things that, I think this is a good idea. You started off saying, we get ideas and we're like, I think this is a good idea. I think that the whole thing about it is this. And this is it's a humbling, it's a sobering reality. It's a difficult reality for a lot of entrepreneurs to understand. And it doesn't matter what you think, because you're not the one buying it. right?
Yeah. Is there traffic?
Right.
Right.
And you know, there's different, and I see this a lot. Certain entrepreneurs, so entrepreneurs that solve a problem that they have, I feel do better because it's a legitimate need that they were the customer. So they went through the customer journey and they couldn't find whatever it was that they needed. And so they know that like they've done market research by being the customer.
Yeah. And they're solving their own problem, in other words.
Exactly. But then there's the other group. Like I started out, I was a leadership development trainer, coach, etc. But really, I started my business not when I was looking for leadership development, training, coaching, all the rest of that type of stuff. I started it after I had gone on that journey. But one of the things that I really had to do when I started was go back and do market research on the people that I was trying to have as customers, because I kept thinking that I was my customer, but I realized along my journey, I didn't pay for leadership coaching either, right? Like along my journey, I read books, I went to conferences, I did professional development, I did that type of stuff. So the individual wasn't my customer, even though I thought that the individual was my customer. What I realized was my customer was the person that puts on those conferences, that hires people to come in and help their teams, right? All of the times that I got helped by trainers and all the rest of that type of stuff when I was in when I was in my journey, I benefited, but I wasn't the customer. And
That's
I
an
didn't
interesting
realize
thing.
that when I started off. It took me a while to really understand who I was marketing to.
Yeah, that's cool. I had an entrepreneur the other day say that to me. He says basically that they wouldn't even buy their own stuff because we kept telling her, raise the price. She says, I wouldn't buy it at that price. I says, well, stop selling to your own pockets.
Exactly.
Don't sell to
You're
your own
not your
pockets.
customer. That's
You're
the
not
key.
your
You're not
customer.
your customer.
Right.
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 And when I figured that out, and when I found who my customer was, I found that my customers' pockets were way different than my pockets.
But that's hope for us, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're out there, we're looking at that startup opportunity, or we're looking to, especially in right now, because a lot of people are shifting, right? I'm doing some things on my end too. I'm starting to look at, I'm like, man, this right here takes a lot less rigmarole, right? It takes so much less input and it's getting me so much more output. So it's kind of like right now I'm looking at a business model and asking questions of it. Basically, business model, can you make me a lot of money?
Exactly.
And it's apps, automation, and email
Best
to earn a
question
huge
to
amount
ask.
of money.
Best question to ask when
Right?
starting a business. Can you make me a lot of money?
Can you make me a lot of money?
AKA, are you going to be worth my time?
But you hear what I said though, Rob? Apps, automation, email marketing. That's what I'm asking now, right? Hey, I've got a whole bunch of apps that shorten time, shorten things. I got one that I can run my Facebook and YouTube ads on automatic, right? I've got oh man, just a ton of them. And so I'm starting to go, hey, wait, I wonder if I can use the apps, put them in an automated fashion, right? So they go out and they do their thing. I set them, boom, and forget them, if you will. Then run them to, I got somebody that runs a lot of the email marketing and all that kind of stuff. They're really good. They're just ready. And then I says, would that, so again, business model using apps, automation, and then the email marketing side of it to make a huge amount of money. Now, on one of my email marketing campaigns, I think you saw, I'm getting a 513% return. Now, everybody, y'all heard that. 513. So in the comment section, what would you do if you were getting a 513% return on your cost? What would you do? Would you do a lot more of it, or would you be hard-headed and continue to do? If you're getting 513% from all your, this is what has me thinking about this.
There you go. That's the whole thing. You put $1 in, you get 5 out. No, that's awesome. That's phenomenal. Now it sounds to me like, just listening to you to you walk through that, it sounds like that would be an awesome advantage to a marketing agency, right? So like, here's the case in point. And I don't know where you've gone with this, but in my mind, I'm like, the normal entrepreneur would try to start a marketing agency with that set of things that you have,
yes.
Not realizing that running a marketing agency is a lot more than just automating some processes.
Yes, sir. It is a lot
But
more.
if you go and you target marketing agencies as your customer,
yes,
you can run this section of their business for them, which allows them to do the marketing agency thing, and they can see the direct reflection of your cost or of your return on investment, because you can show them 500% ROAS, right? You can show them the money that you spend with me, you get this much back, right? And that passes through to your clients, yada, yada, yada. Whereas when you're trying to do it to a small business, the conversations are just different. They don't see it the same.
Yeah. I love that. That is interesting. So what I may do is I might run an ad, right? I'm going to run a tester ad to 2 separate landing pages. I kind of got it in my mind right now that run it to 2 separate landing pages, and then let them see how it works, right? Basically, hey, you responded. Run an ad to and ask that question. Hey, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an agency, and you want a 513% return on your, click here. See if it works. Run some maybe $100 a day ads to it, and then start seeing. Right. I watched the guy, man. There's this guy. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Have you ever heard of Cole Gordon? Everybody's talking about him.
I think he's a sales guy, right?
Yeah, he's a sales guy. So
our setters performer, you don't pay that guy.
Yeah, that guy. So you're starting to see people kind of knock it off now and copy it and all that kind of stuff. But so I got a friend who's just a super duper salesperson, and I says, hey man, call this guy up. Right. So I sent them an email, says, hey, I got a guy that's in sales. And he loves sales. I mean, lives and breathes sales. So what I told him, I says, why don't you and whoever's out there listening, I already don't try to steal this idea. Let's just I says, you're sales. You are sales. Man, this guy can knock on doors. He can work for and he's done a lot of these different things. He's sold jets, he's sold this, he sold that, right? And I think somewhere along the way there was a little confidence, a hit to his confidence, because he had a business for 20 some years and it failed. Because look, business model changed, right? And the approach that he was taking was, it wasn't modernized in time. It was the blockbuster situation. Right? So, but he is still who he is, and this guy's gone out and sold everything, Xfinity, alarms, because he's sales, and everywhere he goes, he's the top person. Now, my thought to him was, well, why don't I create you a page? I created him a landing page, and I'm gonna say your software is your sales as a service, right? So the SaaS model, but not software as a service,
right?
I said sales as a service. So then I called these other folks up and I says, look, but in the meantime, why not try working with this Cole guy? Because I saw how Cole changed his approach, right? First, it was like, hey, we're going to train you up. You're going to be beautiful. Then I says, I get the game. You get a whole bunch of people. Then you go out and says, oh, by the way, we got a whole bunch of people. You want us to come into your organization?
Exactly.
You have to pay nothing. You trained them up. You actually got money from them because
to get trained.
And then you find the cream of the crop.
Right. It's the staffing agency model.
It's beautiful. So I told him, I says, look, you're the epitome of sales. So he applied and all that kind of stuff. And we're waiting to see how it goes. But in the meantime, I got I'm finishing up his landing page, right? Or it's a funnel actually. And I says, okay, so somebody comes in. So you're actually that person that would go into a company, train up their people, hand-to-hand combat, if they, whatever they're doing, because you've done it all. Now you're the service. And he would eat that up because he loves working with people. He's a motivator extraordinaire. You see what I mean? So I said, well, let's get people to hire you to come into their thing.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And that's the biggest key, right? Like, and I think I want, for those of y'all listening, that distinction between who is your customer is so important. I think that so often we don't, with our entrepreneurs that we work with, and in the accelerator, so many of them struggle because they first start off with everybody's my customer, and it's like, nah, that's definitely not true. Everybody could be your customer, but everybody is not your customer. Right. And then we get them there.
I got to get you on that one. Everybody could be your customer,
but everybody's not your customer.
They're not now. Could you hey, explain that a little bit? They could be your customer if what?
Right. If they fit these criteria, right? Like the whole idea
is the right business in front of them.
Exactly. Right. Because the idea is, just because everybody can benefit from your product doesn't mean that everybody's going to buy your product. Right.
I love that.
Everybody can benefit from a day at the spa, right, in Beverly Hills, but everybody's not going to buy a day at the spa in Beverly Hills or a trip to, Machu Picchu or whatever it is. Everybody's not the ideal candidate for that thing, right? Even though they could have that benefit. And so you get a lot of entrepreneurs that are like, they make stuff for women and they're like, all women are my clients. It's like, right. When we do this activity with the dangly earrings, right? Like, it's a higher priced earring that dangles. Yes. Anybody with ears is potentially your client. And specifically, shrinking it down, anybody that wears earrings is potentially your client. But we know that there's a certain group of people that wear dangly earrings. There's a certain group of people that wear, studs. And the stud people are not going to buy dangly earrings on the regular. Will they buy them every once in a while? Potentially one sale in a lifetime? Yeah. But if you're trying to advertise to everybody like that, you're wasting your advertising dollars, right?
And see, that's why I like hey Rob, that's why I like the idea of, no, I find problems first, then I create the business to solve.
Exactly. And the key is you find problems and you find the people who have that problem.
Yes.
So that you can understand the solution to that problem for that group. And then you just market that to that group saying, hey, don't you got this problem? I got a solution.
It's it's the whole idea, again, like I said, with the apps that find me traffic. That's what I mean. Apps, automation, email, right? So and then just taking it's an interesting way to live life too. I found that I'm very fired up when I can go, man, there's 2 million people in this particular case, right? There's 2 million people looking this product up.
Exactly.
160 are going to some traffic.
Exactly.
Right. And then you see what area it's in. Right. And this is an area that I'm a little concerned about. As I look at this one that's got that 2 million people a month. It's in the betting space.
Yeah.
I'm serious, man, because it's hitting the dopamine centers of the brain.
That's
where
exactly
we have,
how it is.
And I'm looking at how many people are getting the ads, how many people are hearing it. Man, I saw one that, hey, you could, even if your team loses, you
still make money. Yep.
And then it says, if you win, get this. If you win, we'll give you $200 in credit. So you pay $5, you get potential $200. What are you getting? A chance to do it again?
Spend more money.
Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
That's highly addictive to me.
Now the key thing about it is, and this is the interesting thing, right? Right. Without getting into the morality of what business model you should have or whatever. One of the problems that a lot of people have with gambling and all these other types of things is they're really tuned into product market fit. They're very clear on who their customer is and what their customer wants and what their customer likes, and they give them that. They don't try to get their customer, like one of my customers, and this was one of the compliments they gave me. They said, a lot of consultants, they come in and they try to fit our problem into their solution. Right. And they're like, that feels like, it doesn't feel like you're listening to me. It doesn't feel like you care. It doesn't feel like you understand us. It just feels like you got a solution and you want to fit in there. And they said, what we love about you so much is that it feels like when you come in, you actually hear our problem and create a solution for our problem. Right now.
Yeah, because you got that smooth way of saying, hey, I think about this a lot. Man, right. Hey,
right.
Would that, if you could solve that problem, would that be something you'd like?
Okay. Exactly. Right. Because here's the key, right? At the end of the day, at the end of the day, I fit their problem into my solution as well. I do it just a little bit differently. The difference is I don't offer them a solution that doesn't fit their problem, right? It's like if you go into a shoe store and you say, I need a size 12 shoe and I'm looking for a dress shoe, and they take you to the sneakers because they make
Right.
money
Because
off
that's
of
what they make.
sneakers.
They make sneakers.
Right. And they make lots of money off the sneakers, the dress shoes, not so much. And so they having you look at sneakers and it's like, did you not hear what I just said?
That's oh man, I could spin. That's so spinnable. Listen to what Rob just said. So how spinnable is that, right? So somebody comes into a sneaker store and they clearly kind of indicate, well, I'm looking for something a little more, and then you ask, and this is what Rob does, y'all. Ask the question, hey, what do you do when you relax? When you're wearing jogging pants? Well, I put on sneakers. Oh, we happen to have sneakers. What kind? Well, I use these, about nondescript, blah, blah, blah. Do you ever take walks? Yeah. So this is what Rob does. He'll ask these questions. So many, and I'm gonna look at that video that we made together again because it's so good. And then you find the problem. He's digging in there, and then he goes, so all he does is agitate the pain, y'all. It's beautiful. Right. Agitate, but he's asking you, what are you struggling with? Okay, exactly. Would you like that solved? Yes, I would. You would like it solved pretty soon? Yeah, I gotta work. Okay. And then what else? Would you like that solved? Do you want that solved? So he's really not selling.
Not at all, right? And so in the sneaker example, if I only have sneakers and the person comes in for dress shoes, that doesn't mean I just have to say, oh, we ain't got no dress shoes. I guess we can't do nothing for you. Because guess what? I'm a sneaker store. So I know the guy that has a dress shoe store. I know a couple other dress shoe stores. So I can help you figure out what you need to get. Because if you just come in saying, I need some dress shoes, you don't know enough about what you need.
Ooh, so I can walk everybody you through. Could be your customer approach.
Exactly. I can walk you
but
through.
Maybe not for what you have.
Not for what you have, but there's referrals. There's all types of different things. And so you come in, and here's the other thing. If they're coming in for dress shoes, that might be what's on their mind right now, but that might not be their main problem. So I got it. You need some dress shoes. Do you need any other shoes? Is there any other thing that you need? What's the biggest problem that you're dealing with? Well, I really need some basketball shoes, but I got to get some dress shoes because I got this interview for next week. Blah, 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 blah. Got it. Okay. So I know a guy that does dress shoes. What do you need? What's this? Okay, you got all this type of stuff. Boom. I get the list down. I give the guy a call. You can go over there and get you some dress shoes. And then when you got that problem solved, come back and talk to me. Because I know you said you're playing basketball a lot and your shoes is ran out and everything. And I got you, but I know you don't got time for that right now. So come on back. All of that type of stuff. I just got a commission sale off of my partner, my affiliate sales partner. Randy is amazing at this, right? And then I also get a customer that's returning because I helped them get what they needed, and I found out what I had that they needed.
It almost in the comments, everybody put down what you think. All you have to do, try this. And this is something I've been doing with a lot of entrepreneurs lately, Rob, is saying, hey, what is the problem? What business do you think you're in? And then we got to change some languaging so that it matches when people come. So in the comments, put in, what do you think, who is your current customer? Who are your current customers? And then, if I get a really, good day off, I'll respond to them and give you some suggestions on how you may present your stuff to them, right? And then maybe put in your product too. What do you sell? Who do you think your customer is? Because sometimes it may be what business do you really think you're in?
Question. Yeah. And here's the thing that will help you in that. And I think for you all that are out there, this question right here this is a gold nugget question. So make sure you take out your pens, get ready to write this one down, because this is the question that so many people don't ask because they're afraid to know the answer, but the answer is where your gold is. And the question is, if you could snap your fingers and have any result that you wanted, what would you have?
Relative to the business, right?
Relative to the business, right? Like relative to the problem. The whole key is so often we think we know what the solution is that people want.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
Because we know what their problem is.
Yeah, I see it.
But just because you know what the problem is doesn't mean you know the solution.
Because they may not see that same. So is it that there's a recognition problem that you may think you can solve, but you haven't gotten into the ear gate of the person, kind of a thing?
Number one. And number two, it's much stronger when they say, this is what I want, and you say, this is what I have, then when you say, is this what you want? Right. And the reason why is this. When you ask the question, what would you like? It causes them to do the mental work of visualizing the success, the solution. And now when you say, oh, that's what you want, that's over here. You are a guide. You are a help. You are walking alongside them and helping them to get what they want. And when we talk about this from the story brand perspective, they get to be the hero. You get to be the guide. Whereas when they say, I have this problem, and you say, I have this solution, you are stepping into the role of the savior, which diminishes them and doesn't allow them to get the shine.
You let them pick, therefore being the hero. Got it.
Exactly. And while one works, you being the savior works, it just doesn't work as good as them being the savior.
So, hey, entrepreneurs out there, Rob's got to get out of here, but that's it. That is it. How you let them be the hero. And oh my gosh, as I think about so many businesses, there was one that we had in class, and I remember hearing it, and this is what I do, and it's our solution, and I says we got to get rid of all that our language.
Yep.
Right. Because I think if you saw this on a landing page, then they would go, what do you mean? I need to be the hero here. And so many businesses are putting themselves out there as the hero, as the person that, it comes in and saves the day. Now that person is, like you said, diminished.
Yep.
And so you wonder why you're not getting the sale, because they don't feel they're solving the problem. We all want to control our own thing. Right.
Yep.
So
and
let them do that.
And the key, remember, it's not that it won't work. That's the problem. It'll work doing it the other way. That's how most of us get into business. We are the hero. And we don't realize that being the hero is twice as hard as being the guide.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that. All right, everybody, that's the show. We will see you on the next week. Rob, enjoy the rest of your day, my friend.
All right, brother. Good talking.
Yeah.
Take it easy.